Okay, people, we're back and we're back hitting hard, but hitting soft and hitting short. Here's another quick one for you. I want to talk about this that happened today because it involves Jeffrey Epstein. It involves the Starship Lolita. It involves all the captain and the Captain Bligh and the Ship of Fools. It involves all these nasty, nasty men. And I want to show you a nasty man right now. And I want you to look at this because we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about it right now.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was yes, I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at. And I simply, it was almost impossible for me to sweat. And it's only because I have done a number of things in the recent past that I'm starting to be able to do that again. So I'm afraid to say that there's a medical condition that says that I didn't do it, so therefore.
There's a medical condition that says it endures therefore. This guy, what a jackass. You know something? I got to call him that because he is. But we're talking about this man right here. We're talking about Andy. Andy got pinched. He got pinched today and was released today. Now, let me tell you why he got pinched. This guy went on national TV and BBC, and I'm going to talk about the Brits for a second. I know they're not going to like it, but I hope we got some British Canobians, but nevertheless. This man is the brother of King Charles. He is fifth in line for the throne, or was once fifth in line for the throne, but he's still in the line of succession. They have not removed him from that. This guy was good friends of Jeffrey Epstein. He loved Jeffrey. He said he did. He said he liked Jeffrey a lot and went to his house and said, "Thank you very much." He went there and got his feet touched and massaged. He messed around with that poor woman, Jennifer, that hurt herself. And he denied he was in that picture with that woman. And finally, what really got him today was not him hanging around Jeffrey Epstein with the nasty, doing his nasty. He got pinched today because the release of the Epstein file, this most recent release, showed that he was sending confidential financial documents to Jeffrey Epstein, who was probably pawning them out to all of his billionaire friends. So Andy could be facing treasonous charges, okay, because of what he did. Now, that's the truth of it. They got him down there. Charles said, "Listen, I got to throw my brother under the bus because if not, they probably want me to advocate. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to give up my throne. I waited so long for my throne." But look at this nasty old man. This guy's nasty. He was always a freak growing up. He was a party prince. And you know what? Let's be honest with you people. Let's be honest about it. You can look at this man and see this guy's got some nasty stuff rolling around his head. But let's move along. Look at somebody even more nasty than former Prince Andrew is his wife. Now, look at Sarah. Listen, look at Sarah. Now let me tell you something, people. If you want to see somebody, and if you want to know somebody who's demon possessed, you got to always look at the eyes and the mouth. Look at that. Look at the eyes. They get ready to come outside her head. And this is one of her good days, by the way. But there's emails to Jeffrey Epstein that lied. She was asking this guy for money. She was also asking to get on her knees and clean his house. And she was also asking and begging Jeffrey Epstein to marry her. Oh, she said some nasty things, too, about her own daughter. That's what she did. This is Sarah Ferguson. And you know what? She was in the club. You know what? She was respected by Charles. She was respected by the Queen. She was tolerated by William. Everybody want to say William didn't like her, but that's a bunch of crap. William didn't like anybody because he's William. Now, let me just sorry you Brits, but I'm going to give it to you straight. You know what gets me about this? It's the hypocrisy of the crown. It's the hypocrisy of the monarchy. Because you see, the monarchy got problems of its own. And while they were so busy talking about this guy right here, while they were so busy jumping on this guy because she's black, and let's face it, that's what it was pure racism. Is the crown racist? Yeah. I'm sorry, but slavery started over here because it was over there with you guys first. So if you guys don't want the truth, that's the way it is. But the crown is racist. And while they were so busy, this is how I let you know how racism trumps logic. See, you can't expect a racist to be logic, okay? Because while they were so busy, jumping on Megan, while she was so busy jumping on Megan, this woman knew. This woman knew what her son was doing. This woman knew, in my opinion. And documents are coming out that she paid off out of her own pocket, Jennifer Gaffrey, or whatever the poor lady name is. She paid her off out of her own pocket. She knew what Andrew did. That was her favorite son. And all the while you jumping on poor Megan and saying she's a bully and she's this and she's no good and she's all this stuff, this guy right here was doing all this nasty stuff. This guy right here was doing all this nasty stuff, lying to people about Epstein, lie, but it was okay for the crown. It's okay for the monarchy. You know what? They didn't take away his security. They didn't take away his rights. They put him in mansion after mansion. They supported him. They let him get on his horses and ride. They let him have all these parties, and they never cut him loose. The only time they cut this man loose was when it got too far and it came up just how much of a freak and a nasty, perverted bastard this man is. And that's what happened, people, and that's the truth. But you know what gets me about it? Let me tell you something right now. There's one person who's probably having a good old-fashioned laugh about this, is this guy right here. That's right, old Prince Harry. He's a good laugh right now. You know why? You know why he's laughing? Because they kicked this guy out on the rail because he married a black woman. It's the only reason you British people got to accept that racism's over there in this monarchy. Because if the Queen had any logic, she would have kept Meghan and Harry around because they were good people. They were helping people. But instead, she cut Harry loose. She let William cut Harry loose. And they put the press on Harry and Meghan, in my opinion, that the press over there in Britain and the press that's controlled in the United States have nothing positive to say about Harry and about Meghan. But right now, you British people are going through something right now that Harry has nothing to do with, Meghan have nothing to do with, and still the press tries to dig up stuff on them as a distraction. No, it's the truth. This lady right here, she could have stopped it all. This lady right here, she could have put a plug in this and say, you know what? We're going to gather around Meghan. You know what? She's not used to this life, but we're going to try to help her out. No, they didn't do that. They pushed the woman till she almost had a breakdown and did some things to herself, and they had to leave. But when they had to leave, what did they do? They said, you know what? Screw you. We're going to take away your security. We're going to take away your money. And now you're going to be broke, penniless, and at the mercy of all those people that want to hurt you and all those people that want her hurt just because she's black. And that's what they did. It was the racism. And look what's happened now. This has come back. This has come back to bite them right here. This is what's going to take the monarchy down. It's not going to be Harry, and it's not going to be Meghan. What it's going to be is this, because more stuff is going to come out. More and more perverse stuff is going to come out, and Charles is not going to be able to get rid of it. And while all the press, if you look at the press, they're all trying to shield William from this as if somehow he never liked his uncle and somehow he never knew any about the deals that's being made. That's a bunch of bunk, people, as my grandmother used to say. It's a bunch of bunk. William knew what was going on. William is just like the rest of them. He jumped on his own brother because his brother brought home a black girl and he didn't like it. So William threw his brother out, cut his brother loose, and the guy had no choice. Let me tell you the truth. You think this guy had any choice? You think this guy wanted to write a book? No, but when I'm broke, let me tell you something. If I got some dirty business on my family and they kick me out on the street with a wife and a child and I'm broke and I'm penniless and I don't have no way to defend myself with security, I'm going to throw all y'all out the bus, especially when it was William who was the one who told him to put on the Nazi outfit. He never told, but he couldn't take it no more, and he had to find a way to support himself. So you guys want to be mad that poor Harry wrote a little book. Boo-hoo, Harry wrote a book. Is that really a big deal? Harry wrote a book when this guy right here, all the nasty, perverted stuff, this guy, you British people love this guy more than you love Harry. Harry's not even half as bad as this guy, but you can't deal with it. And you know why? Because the only reason why you guys don't like this man anymore is because it's race. And it's because you're a bunch of racists, and you people can make this right now. Let me tell you how to fix the monarchy problem, Charles. I'm going to give you 3 things I want you to do. 1, I want you to call this guy right now, and I want you to tell him you're going to give him his immediate security so he can you can visit with your grandchildren, and that'll start the recovery process. 2, I want you to agree to be there for the Invictus celebration next year, Harry's charity that he does for the wounded veterans. You need to be there, Charles. It'll make you look good. It'll make the monarchy look good. And that's another thing you need to do. And then what you need to do here is you need to just try to make up with this lady. Listen, she did some things. Yes, she couldn't take it. Listen, no, she's not perfect. She can't keep a staff. I don't get it. I mean, how does she, listen, she must have some problems. I'm going to give you that much, Charles, because how can you keep losing people over and over again? Good people, out of 6 months dealing with it, they quit. I get it. And you know what? That's on her. Somebody needs to give her the hard truth that she needs to chill out. Maybe her husband needs to step up to her. I get it. But Charles, you got to make it right. You got to bring her back into the fold, because right now you people need her. The monarchy needs her right now, and the monarchy needs Harry, because right now you're looking at Charles, who's taking the brunt of this. You're looking at William, who can try to deny he had anything to do with it. But you know what? It's not the truth. And people are getting tired of the monarchy. But these people went out and they made their own way. They got their own money. They got their own way of living. And all you got to do is somehow part-time bring them in, and you'll be okay. Now, Charles, the last thing I'm going to ask you to do, and this is between me and you, Charles, is I'm going to ask you to do this. You need to get back some of those diamonds to those African nations. Because you see, your mother had all those diamonds, okay? Your mother took all of those diamonds from those black tribes that were in those caves and in those mountains, digging out those diamonds and digging out those stones and rubies and sapphires. And they have been asking for you guys to return those jewels back to those African countries, because we all know it was all racist and you had those people working like slaves up in there to get you those diamonds. And now what you've done, instead, when she died, you could have gave some of the diamonds back, but you gave them all to your son, and he's going to give them all to his wife. And they're all going to look nice and pretty, but it's slave blood. It's the blood of slaves and the hands of slaves that digged out those diamonds. That's why y'all are so racist. Charles, I think you're a good person. I think you're a good man. I think you're a kind man. But you know what? You need to make some changes, because you threw your own son under the bus and protected your brother, and that's not cool. And I don't blame him for writing a book. Heck, I would have done more than that. And you and I both know there's a lot more secrets he could tell, but he's not talking yet.